Hello, this is Michael Wojcik again. I wanted to give you a little update about the St. Mary's area water reservoir. Basically, RPU's recommendation is essentially to replace the existing reservoir in the same place. I've given you a number of opportunities to contact me, comment on it, and what I've heard is basically the opinions on this range from accepting to pretty good idea. And I'm going to tell you a little bit why the decision was made and then give you the opportunity again to contact me if you want to have any more discussion on this. But basically what it comes down to is this is far and away our best option in terms of from a financial perspective. And a couple key things we were able to achieve. The new water reservoir absolutely will not so much as take 1 inch of parkland. Our parks are off limit. The only thing that we'll see affected by the park is we're going to have some storage and prep area during the construction project itself. But the great thing is the St. Mary's Park has been protected. The new water reservoir will fit entirely on the current site. It's not parkland. It's a piece of land leased from Mayo for a couple hundred years, as a matter of fact. The reservoir will be slightly bigger. I believe it's going to be 29 feet wider than the existing one up there, but the height will be the same. And the key thing is, while we're gaining a little bit of width, it's going to be perceptible, but not terribly perceptible. We're also going to be able to put different facade on there. Right now we have blue steel, which does kind of stick out unless you've seen it so many times, just kind of blank it out. But essentially we're going to be able to put in something that looks like more of a stucco finish, like the historic water tower. The construction itself is going to be of a concrete design, which we can decorate that up with some ephes, which a lot of people call stucco as well, or possibly even some brickwork, some architectural details, things like arches, something to match the area. We do have a budget in there for making the structure more appealing than what is currently there right now. Since we have this project going on next year, probably next October timeframe, I also asked staff to take a look at possibilities for what we can do to improve that intersection simultaneously right at the corner of 10th Avenue and 4th Street. And we're going to see if there's not something we can't do at the same time to make that flow just a little bit better than it is right now. Why this is a good decision is basically reservoir is up high, it's far more efficient, saves us a lot of money in operating costs to just have the water up that high. Second reason is it's land that we already own or at least have lease access to, so there's no additional costs right there. Third, I know that there's going to be some disruption with the construction up there, but the reality is that other tower is coming up on a century, and we know that it had to be replaced here fairly soon anyways, the next decade or two. And so this was going to be replaced anyways. By doing it now, I mean we bring it forward a little bit, but we address our needs well into the future. One of the points that I'm always excited when people bring this up, because it's a good point and I'm glad that we have a good answer, is why don't we focus on water conservation instead of building this capacity? And I think that's a great question. I wanted to speak to that a little bit because the new reservoir is going to be 3.5 million gallons. The key thing is right now we don't have enough water capacity to meet what we would expect for our current usage. And why this is kind of exciting is actually if you take the reservoir downtown, which is going to be the end of the life this is replacing, the current reservoir and our current unmet need, the reservoir that we're building is actually only 300,000 out of 3.5 million gallons larger than what we need just today. So it's not that we're building excess capacity for future growth, rather we're just aiming to meet our current needs. But let's talk about that water conservation. Our plan right now is that we're going to have to build another water tower, probably somewhere on the southeast side of town, sometime in the foreseeable future. But where we have an opportunity is the fact that there is if we are able to conserve water better than we are, perhaps we save the expense in the future, those millions of dollars of expenses, by not having to build that pillar. We can utilize the existing water infrastructure that we have, and if we keep doing conservation well, perhaps we don't need to build that, make that investment in the future. So I think this is pretty well thought out. Now I realize that there are some people in the area that's just uncomfortable the process that we're going through, but the reality is we're getting a tank that's a little bit bigger than what we're already accustomed to right there. We're protecting the parkland. We're saving about $1.5 million in construction costs relative to the next best option. So these are reasons why I had to take a look at it. The ERPU board unanimously recommended, myself included, 5-0 to move this forward to the City Council. But I do want to hear what you think, and I want to make sure that the process is not over, because how this thing is designed, how it appears in the neighborhood, and how the landscaping is replaced around it, those are all very important things right now as well. So, if you have opinions, I'm an easy person to get a hold of. I'm sure I'll be involved with some meetings in the Southwest as this goes forward, but the avenue of communication is open. I think that in the end this is the right decision for the community, both financially and just meeting our water needs for the near and more distant future. If you have any questions, I'm always happy to take them. Thanks for watching.